Raven. Behind the silver eyes. We see a flash of imagery appear brought to us by a malfunctioning Libra Cell. We see a young Raven, 18 years old, along with her high school girlfriend, cosplaying as Nubia in Wonder Woman with a husky puppy. We then flash to an older Raven standing on a military plane's open hangar, admiring the colors of the sky as she drifts out, free-falling, letting the wind carry her. She parachutes and crashes into a desert. Codename Raven was a MAA, a must-act-alone soldier who deals with the paranormal by way of espionage and stealth. She walks until she approaches a cloaked establishment, almost completely invisible, but the approaching sandstorm unveils its form. Suddenly, a Japanese soldier decloaks and attacks Raven with a knife. But in one smooth motion, Raven waltzes out of the way and spins like a ballerina directly into her attacker while drawing her combat knife and putting it into the Japanese soldier's neck. Her silent fist style was one she created and made zero audible sound in her movements. Raven's movements are impeccable, and the combat maneuvers looked more like dancing than stabbing and killing. We flash to seeing Raven being trained amongst other silver-eyed soldiers being pushed beyond human limits by their United Nations handlers involved in a sub-experiment to create a one-man world. We see Raven. We flash to seeing Raven deployed on a training exercise along other silver-eyed soldiers who were pushed beyond human limits by their United Nations handlers. This always resulted in these soldiers becoming superior humans in the field of combat and bred to become MMAs. Raven was the only female soldier born and raised with her male counterparts in a secret government program in order to one day usher in a one-man world. After her troop wipes out the camp they attacked, we see Raven walk over the last body as she counts out loud, 217. She poses the body on a mountain of bodies and puts it in an iconic position to add to her inventory of pictures captured by way of her sharp and at the time well-functioning photographic memory, which she later uses to paint a collage of dead soldiers using the photos saved in her head. She looks at her squad members who are watching from afar, amused by her savagery. We then cut to a young Raven and her friends living it up at a nightclub. Raven is flirting with another woman who says that she likes body art. So being clever, Raven shows her a picture of body art. In fact, she shows her the painting of the collage of dead soldiers that she made the other night. The girl looked shocked and hated the art. But Raven was a celebrity, so she didn't fret too much. Raven's crew begins laughing and joke about how, though Raven is self-sacrificing, she has an evil tick sometimes. Raven can sense the girl's discomfort and recovers with a flirtatious line in French, one of 16 languages that she knows, and it was successful as her silver eyes peer into the woman's blushing pupils. The Libra Cell going haywire, we then flash to a naked Raven running through a lab corridor looking frantic, her Libra Cell dangling out of her skull cavity when she runs into another, much older Raven who tells her to calm down and that it will all be over soon. We cut to the present time just as Raven is running back toward the school with the others while fending off freaks. Her malfunctioning Libra sends a sharp pain shooting across her crown chakra, then all the way down her sciatic nerve. The pain was enough to floor the common person, but Raven was cut from a different cloth. She stumbles a bit, but Ryan Quinn pulls her up, keeping her in motion. Raven's silver eyes glances at him as she picks up her speed and then takes down an approaching freak without making eye contact with the demon trees behind it. The uncontrolled regurgitation of memories from her Libra was becoming more frequent, Raven thought. She considers removing it as she recalls the crushing mental effects old Libra cells had on her fellow trillion-dollar soldiers. Perhaps she could get a doctor or some sort of technician to look at it. but then that would unravel too much of Raven's past. Raven puts those thoughts on hold and begins to defend Earl and Joe as they wait for someone inside the school to open up the doors.